This is the vast and evergreen jungle of the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. The rainy season lasts from May until October. Still, there are no surface rivers or lakes here. To find out why, we have to travel into the underground. The Yucatan was once a gigantic coral reef. During the last ice age, the ocean level dropped and the coral died. The jungle covered the old reef and the rainfall slowly dissolved the soft coral limestone. When the ice age came to an end, the area had been transformed into a Swiss cheese of caves. The water level raised and flooded the caves.
We traveled to Mexico to get a glimpse of these enormous cave systems. We flew with Lufthansa from Norway to Frankfurt, and then we embarked on the 12-hour-long flight to Cancun. We stayed in Playa del Carmen. This is the tourist city of the Riviera Maya, with beaches, shopping and restaurants. The Fifth Avenue never sleeps. So, how do we access the underground caves? In the Yucatan there are 6,000 entrances where the cave roof have collapsed. These entrances are called cenotes. The Maya people believed the cenotes was sacred and a pathway to the gods. Even humans were sacrificed in some of the cenotes. Almost 5 million tourists travel to Riviera Maya each year, and many of them visit the cenotes for swimming, snorkeling and diving.
We went diving with ProDive Mexico. The first days we visited the cenotes Chiken-Ha, Tajma Ha, Eden and Dos Ojos. Dos Ojos is Spanish for two eyes. The word Ha is the Mayan word for water. The rain was on and off, but we were happy to finally explore these famous dive sites. Between the open cenote and the cave there is an area called the cavern. This is an overhead environment where you shall be able to see natural light during the entire dive. Scuba divers without the cave diver's certification may enter the cavern zone accompanied by a guide. Each guide can have the responsibility for up to 4 divers. The rainwater is filtered through the jungle and the visibility is always fantastic. The formations in the caves are beautiful with stalactites and stalagmites. These dripstone formations were created when the caves were dry. Now they are frozen in time. If broken by a careless diver, they will never come back. A thin line is routed through the cave to lead the way in and out. In all the cenotes, we find fossils of prehistoric marine life, which shows that the caves were once a coral reef. The halocline is the borderline between the fresh and salt water. The water suddenly gets unclear and creates optical illusions when we dive through it. The end of the cavern zone is often marked with a big sign to prevent non-cave divers to go any further. The Dos Ojos cenote is connected to one of the longest underwater cave systems in the world. While we only penetrated 50 meters into the cavern, the cave network continues for another 82 kilometers. Without training, you are lost big time.
The last day of diving, we were in for a real treat. The Angelita cenote is something completely different. This is a circular shaft that goes down to 60 meters. At 30 meters, we reach a cloud of hydrogen sulfate. Trees and branches stick out of the cloud like a floating ghost forest. You can actually smell the hydrogen sulfate despite the tight mask and breathing through the regulator. We did a last dive in the cenote Carwash. The name is not a coincidence. It used to be the place where taxi drivers in Tulum washed their taxis.
The light and the photo possibilities in the Mexican cenotes are incredible and well worth a visit. Stay tuned for our next video if you need some tips before you go and check them out for yourself. Thank you very much for watching and subscribe to WeDive.no for more scuba stories.